It is, should have checked, February 19th, Friday. And this has been a really exciting week. As anybody who's been following the forum knows, we had a few big surprises as far as people joining us at camp. And really want to welcome Michele from down under into the fold, because Michele, you've just been one of the most positive and helpful contributors to our site since really day one. So I'm really looking forward to seeing you in person. And I'm sure everybody else is excited about getting some video. Even if you don't make it to camp, we will have video of the Time Zone Zombies playing for the first time probably together. So, and their first meeting. Anyway, I don't have a whole lot of exciting, well no, I have a little bit more stuff to tell you about. Boy, I forgot to mention last week, you know, we had one of the things that, let me go, calm down, and just run down some of the new stuff. We had a look at Fred working on Fred's still working on Lyin Eyes, and there was big news, of course, at the Grammys this week with the Eagles. Boy, they had to go through a lot of the, unfortunately, a lot of the musicians that we lost recently. And somebody I forgot to mention last week that I just remember reading the day before, who had a who I really enjoyed, was Dan Hicks. Hope some people out there remember Dan Hicks and the Hot Licks. Great tunes like I Scare Myself. Bob played that for us last year at camp, or at least maybe at the barbecue. Anyway, what else was I going to say about Dan? Nope, that was it. Oh, How Can I Miss You When You Won't Go Away? One of his great tunes. And the other lessons we had this week. Let's get on with that, because I had fun putting those the two that I got together this week. I'm getting back into the swing of things. Hope everybody enjoyed that. I really enjoyed seeing Bill's version of Sometimes, another Jonathon Edwards tune. So that was pretty cool. I gotta tell you a little bit about Toulouse Street, because the Doobie Brothers had a lot of really cool acoustic guitar songs. Of course, along with their all, you know, what am I thinking about here? Oh. Of course, with their screaming guitar songs and stuff like that. Oh, that's what I was trying to remember. There it is. So this album, I gotta tell you something a little bit about it. Toulouse Street. Of course, the song on Toulouse Street was just this cool finger-picking thing done as a duet. And again, as I mentioned in the lesson, if anybody's interested in the second guitar part, I might put a little time in on that. But I was lucky enough to see them in 1972, and I may have mentioned this story before, but it was just before, or just as that album was coming out, which put them on the map. Second album, Toulouse Street, and I had their first album already, which had more acoustic, folky type things on it, but they really kicked it in with Listen to the Music and Jesus Is Just Alright, which were the two big hits, I guess, from that album. But yeah, they were the opening act for Commander Cody and Stoneground at the Santa Clara County Fairgrounds. Probably back when tickets to a show like that were like $5. And anyhow, just remember being knocked out completely by them, and everybody sort of paled in comparison afterwards. Commander Cody was the least interesting, but anyway, the Doobie Brothers were a hard act to follow, and they didn't open many more shows after the summer of '72. So let's see. I think what's the other? Okay, now I have just a couple of things about camp. We've had, aside from Michele join up recently, we also have Jean from the East Coast, and Bart has figured out a way to join us, which is really cool. Bart made it to the second camp and not to the third, as I recall. Anyway, but and so we're down to about 7 or 8 spots left. If anybody's thinking about it, let us know soon, or get a hold of me or something. And Bill had some great questions about transportation from San Francisco, and I was just here this morning talking to Larry about that. There actually is a pretty easy way to get from the San Francisco airport down into the San Jose area. It's you can take Bart, rapid transit, out of the airport to the Millbrae train station, and then hop on a train that comes down to San Jose. The whole thing would take like about 40 minutes or so. So, but I'm sure we'll be able to coordinate some rides as well too. Last year we had a thread that talked about traveling with a guitar and stuff, and so we should resurrect that if it's not already by the time you're seeing this. That talks about some of the options. It's not usually too hard to travel with a guitar, but it can be a little bit of a headache depending on the airline and stuff. So, okay, I think that is all I really want to talk about today. Oh yeah, except you haven't seen this guitar in a while. Put new strings on it the other day, and that makes it such a joy to play. I should review things before I just decide to go start playing them. You never know. Piece of obscure Doobie Brothers trivia. Okay, that is it. Some cool things on the dock for tomorrow. Actually, they'll show up next week. Can't tell you what I'm working on. Got some neat things though. Okay, that is it for Friday the 19th.